What's good, whites, blacks, and Gina Rodriguez? Welcome to another episode of THiNK. There are things going on in pop culture that have compelled me to feel like my opinion on the internet matters, so this is what I do. I yell on the internet for about 20 minutes and you listen. So, ready to start listening to my shit? Let's go. So something happened on Twitter, I think about a month ago now, that I've meant to talk about but I didn't talk about. And I know some of you guys will know what I'm talking about, some of you won't. Follow me. There was an account on Twitter named Emoblackthot. The account was like a personal account, but it was ran like a stan account. Now, for those of y'all on social media that don't know what stan accounts are, stan accounts don't show their face. Usually they take on whoever they stan. So your picture on Twitter will be of Nicki or Rihanna or whoever you pledge. But this person didn't pledge a celebrity per se. They just had an emoji as their Twitter picture, and then the account started to get fame. It was a positive account as far as what I saw, tweeting like mental health advice and reminding people to do their skincare routine and shit. And eventually it started getting, you know, really popular and started getting celebrity cosigns from like Ariana Grande and Kehlani and all this other shit. And people assumed that it was a black girl named Nicole because this person said that they were a black girl named Nicole. Which I guess everybody just believed. I don't know, I believed it because I don't care, like, this is ridiculous. Turns out, the whole time, it is not a black girl named Nicole. The whole time, it is a guy, I think his name is Isaiah. I followed the account followed me. There's no hard feelings here towards me or him because I don't know him. And that's my thing, is now that's a one-sided relationship because maybe you know of me and what I do, but I don't know shit about you, and now you skeeved me out. But the whole time this person is pretending to be this black girl and persecuting people underneath the eyes of a black woman and saying things like, I fucking hate Tauruses and I'm a Scorpio, meanwhile you're a total Taurus. The shit just got really weird. Giving period advice to women as if, you know what I mean, like you've been through certain things that women have gone through. I think at one point there was like a sexual assault thing that was going on and a fake stories exchange because the account had been around for a long time and this person was faking this whole identity. And I know this story goes really big, but I kind of want to centralize it down to what people use the internet for. And the biggest problem here is that all y'all are fake on the internet. I have never used the internet to run away from myself or my situation or like what I'm doing. I've always ran to the internet for this. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm entertaining. I feel like I'm an idiot. I feel like it's fun. I like to have fun. I like to talk my shit. So I've always wanted to do that on an internet format, but some people don't. Some people use the internet to run away from their reality. Now granted, that got a little too big. That's turning into a I want a career thing from garnering all this fans and all this notoriety from lies and siphoning pain out of people. It's very Billy McFarlane in a way, and it's really weird, but all I'm telling y'all is to just invest in real things. Like, none of this is real. And I need for you guys to realize that none of this is real. Everybody, everything on social media in one way or another is some form of a fake-ass curated image. And that's so dumb. Like, it's so stupid. But I don't want to persecute him too much because he's not the only person that may have used the internet to run away from themselves or their situation. And also, make real friends. Like, I'm sorry, you don't know who you're talking to on the internet. It's the fucking internet. And stop putting so much stake in the opinions of these accounts. And you don't know who the fuck is behind this shit. You never even saw a picture of this person. You never saw a picture. It's that easy to manipulate y'all. So just be smarter. Like, this whole thing is fucking dumb. Best of luck to him, I guess, on your career and shit. Rest in peace to John Witherspoon, man. I don't really have too much to say about that, but all I can say is that shit hurt on another level, man. Like, damn. Because, like, John Witherspoon has been old from what I perceived as my whole life. So, to me, you see these people, they're these figures. Like, if I were to watch Wayne Brothers right now and see John Witherspoon, I would feel like he's the same age there as he is right now, or he was right now, and no, like, that's not the case. Our legends are aging, man, and they're going, but what a mark to leave on the world. Like, I don't know too much about how the game was back then, but I have never not known John Witherspoon as being well-renowned for being fucking funny. He's not in the Richard Pryor conversation or the Paul Mooney, or maybe not anymore, conversation. You know what I mean? Like the greatest comedians or comedic actors of all time. I don't know if people bring up John Witherspoon enough, but I never heard him complain about it. He just kept doing the work. Like, he just kept working. He was never really renowned as the best comedian. He's never in that conversation. But one thing everybody knows is when you bring up John Witherspoon's name, Pops is fucking funny, Granddad is fucking funny. Like, what a legend, man. You did the work, you did your job. R.I.P. to John Witherspoon. It hurts, but we had him. And that's what a great fucking Pops to have, man. Fuck Bill Cosby. That's my motherfucking Pops. So there was a post that Nicki Minaj had posted on her Instagram in which it was a show of some sort that I'm sure none of us watched, where there was a panel discussion and they were looking for female rappers, and Jermaine Dupri was hosting the show, and they were asking the girls who influenced them. The woman in the crowd was pretty much like, oh, y'all better not be influenced by Nicki Minaj, like, who y'all influenced by? And most of the girls were basically naming every other female rapper they could think of besides Nicki Minaj. But there was one girl in particular, who I think at the time was like 14, who loves Nicki Minaj, and reneged on it basically at the panel, and Jermaine Dupri called her out and said, you said you love Nicki Minaj, you have to stand in that. But there's a bigger point here, because it's always been that way. And I think that Nicki posting it did a good job at exposing it, but I don't feel like she should be the one that has to have that conversation. Because we have so many people in media having these conversations. Nicki shouldn't have to have that conversation, because I don't even think it could be perceived any other way than bitter from her because of the way people think of her. But the truth of the matter is, there's always been this negative connotation behind being a fan of Nicki Minaj. This is long before barbs became what they're known for now. This was back just straight up homophobia. To be completely honest, it was kind of like, if you're a fan of her and her subject matter, you must like dick too, which was pretty much the way that people pretty much thought about it. And so it causes this hyper masculinity rage against Nicki Minaj, who's a hyper feminine voice in rap. Then if you're a fan of Nicki Minaj, you're illegitimate. Or like your hip hop opinion doesn't matter. You can't think. You can't think of what's better than what, or all of your opinions are structured around you being a fan of Nicki Minaj. And I think that's so stupid to do. And I don't understand why it's still done, because clearly it's still being done. But that was a big thing I had to think about starting YouTube. It was like, yo, you like Nicki. And I started right before Sheether. But it was like, yo, you like Nicki. Are you gonna like Nicki? Are you gonna be you and do your thing? Or are you gonna deal with the fact that people are always gonna try to, you know what I mean, like snuff your voice because you like her music? And I chose just to be real. But I think that Nicki needs to understand that a lot of people don't do what I did. A lot of people don't do what I do. And that doesn't mean I love everything Nicki does, everything Nicki says, no, but that means that I do judge her fairly, and I judge her against herself. And I like a lot of things she does, and she's important to me, and her music is the soundtrack to my life. And I'm never gonna look down on that, and I'm never gonna shit on that for legitimacy points from people who would never fuck with you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why people want legitimacy points for these people that bad. I just kind of feel like I want to be loved for what I love and who I love and everything I am. And if that means being a Nicki Minaj fan, or being a Drake fan, or being a fucking Hove fan, or whatever the fuck I am, you know what I mean? I'm also a big fan of chicken, you know what I mean? A chicken fan. Y'all gonna love all parts of me. But a lot of people don't have that courage, and I don't know why there's that connotation in hip hop where seeing Nicki Minaj in a positive light is seen as an illegitimizer. Like, these young girls have to be inspired by Moni Love and fucking Queen Latifah. There's no 14-year-old in the world that knows all the words to UNITY whose mother did not force it on them, or if there are, you're probably 1 out of 14 million, baby. The truth of the matter is, Nick has just been here for 10 years. I don't understand what the thing is, but this connotation of showing love to Nicki Minaj being an illegitimizer is wrong. And I just don't get it. But that's what people do. And that's calling out the culture. I don't have the fix for that. I don't even know where it comes from. Maybe it's a bigger conversation. We need to start it. You guys let me know below why that's happening, because I don't get it. That girl should have just been able to say, yeah, I like Nicki, I was influenced by Nicki, and it should have stopped there, and she should have just been able to rap. Why does it have to become this bigger thing? Like, you run a Stan account and you sit online tweeting at Lil' Kim all day? No. Nicki's always gonna be that kind of a conversation in hip hop because her position is so big, but let people be fans of Nicki Minaj and just leave it there. That's the point of this. She leave people the fuck alone. If they like her music, she has enough of it. Nicki Minaj has like 10,000 songs on the internet. You're telling me that most people with a musical ear aren't gonna find one? It's just, moving on. Speaking of music, I guess it's time we talk about Kanye. Which is gonna be kinda hard because I didn't listen to Jesus is King, but this is still my Jesus is King review, so you're gonna sit and listen to it, because that's what we got. I didn't listen to Jesus is King because I can see through everything that Kanye is doing. Separately, I don't give a fuck about a gospel album, and that's me. This is a kid, I went to Catholic school, I grew up in the church. I'm not in the market for a gospel album. So if Hove made a gospel album, Hove could keep his gospel album. I mean that with my full ass. I'm not listening to anybody's gospel album. I watched the Mary Mary TV show in college, But I damn sure would not listen to the Mary Mary album. It's just not my thing. So Kanye, you making a gospel album off rip was a skirt for me. No. But also for me, I think it's hard for anyone to process any form of legitimacy with Kanye because Kanye is always doing a thing. Kanye has told us a long time ago, he doesn't want to only be seen as a legendary rapper. Kanye wants to be seen as like a legendary, like an artist, like an innovator, like a big thing, like a Bowie, like a Walt Disney, Steve Jobs. He thinks bigger than just, I want to be a great rapper. Because Kanye was never a rapper, he was a producer. And he still is a fantastic producer. But he's always looking for a muse. He's always doing a thing. It was Travis Scott at one point. It was Amber Rose at one point. It was Kid Cudi at one point. It was motherfucking Kim Kardashian at one point. He's always got a muse. It's tech industry at one point. Fashion at one point. And this is just another era. It's like Bowie and Ziggy Stardust and Gaga and her eras. And you know, it's pop star. It's pop. And I think that everybody needs to understand that you are trying to point out an illegitimate point and you can't really see through it because you're trying to find the illegitimacy in Kanye. But Kanye believes this religion shit with his full ass because as an artist who is inspired, he's really into this thing. This thing will be over. This will pass because Kanye's always doing a thing and the thing is always gonna pass. I just don't give a fuck about this thing. And also, I'm gonna say this and you're gonna have to hear it because you're watching my motherfucking show. Don't be confused that the white power structure or that the power structure that Kanye is being used by and is trying to play into doesn't know that the quickest way back into good graces with black folks is the God they gave you. Cause that's exactly what the fuck this is. And it's the same, it's that both them jeans shit, oh Jesus, oh pray for her, all that book, fuck that. Fuck that. I remember what you did. I remember what you said. With Kanye, it's never about what he's doing. It's just about he wants to be influential. He wanted y'all to wear them plastic sunglasses that I wore in high school that are still in that drawer up there. He wants y'all to wear 2 polos. He's like, I'm wearing them to see how many people I can get to wear them. I'm moving people from this company to this company, from this price point to this price point to see how many people I can move. It's influence. It's about power. So he's trying to see how many of y'all he can move to this thing. It's all influence, it's all power. And I'm just not being led by Kanye anymore. Not for music, not for God, not for anything. Because the more of you that move, the more powerful he gets. And he has proven that he's not responsible with the influence that you give him. So if you want to give it to him, go ahead. But I don't. That's just how I feel about it. So Jesus is king, but Kanye's not. Kanye ain't shit but a man like you and me. And everybody else who identifies. Don't allow people to run to religion because religion is the one place where they told you your common sense is not supposed to exist. That's some bullshit. Use your head. You know exactly what the fuck going on here. No, yay. Not having it. I'm gonna talk about power, but I'm gonna talk about power loosely. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm pretty sure if you're watching Power, there's no way that you're not watching Power. Because I have to say that the last season of Power is one of the best wrap-ups to a show that I've ever seen in my life. But for the exact opposite reason of Game of Thrones. Power is wrapping up. And it's wrapping up well because it's wrapping up so audaciously against your common sense that at some point you just have to bend to his whim and accept the fact that Ghost decided to buy a building to kill a man in. And the man he framed for it was able to jump off of the building to get away from the cops. You just have to decide that that happened. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with Ghost killing, I'm definitely spoiling this now. Well, skip, I don't know what to tell you. You have to be okay with Ghost killing Tasha's lover and Tasha asking Ghost for months where the lover is, but then Tasha knowing to tell the feds exactly where the lover is. Like where the body is. You have to just accept it. This show is just amazing. If you just let it go and just let go of common sense, if you just allow the show to do what it's doing, you'll be fine. Game of Thrones pretty much asked for too much permission. Power's not asking for permission. They're advancing the story and we're getting to the end of it one way or another and I'm gonna be fucking depressed once it's over. And also, fuck Tasha. I don't understand the writing also. They've just decided who's good guys, who's bad guys, who's medium guys. Ghost has gone from not ever even to have been caught for almost a decade now to now all of a sudden Drake could just walk into his room and just plant evidence. Like this show is absolutely fantastic because you have to deal with the consequences of this absolutely unreal circumstances that they put in your face. Long live Power. Teyana Taylor and Kehlani work together, and I've wanted that for so long because I both said vocally their lineage comes from Brandy. I hear Brandy in the both of them, in the way that they sing and the way that they inflect. I hear Brandy. But they came out with a song together called Morning, which undoubtedly was going to be a sex song about them deciding wanted to get freaky with each other because we both know that they both dabble in the lady bond. Well, I don't know about Tiana, but that's a rumor. Maybe so. Who cares? Sexuality is fluid, get yours. But here's my thing. The song sounds great. Teyana Taylor loves doing this R&B thing, like, got me saying yeah! Like Jodeci, like she's just out in the rain, like, baby please take me back. Like she just knows how to hold that note. And it sounds great and it sounds R&B-ish. And I like the cadence of the song. And I like her flow on the chorus. And even the chorus isn't bad. But the verse? There's no effort. I don't get it. Like, I don't even want, I'm about to read it. You know what? Fuck it. Ain't no limit what I'm pulling when I fuck on you, babe. Oh no, talk that shit, play with that clit, watch it rain on you, baby. Funny how you thought the world was looking. We're just getting started, oh whoa. And then the pre-chorus is, hit it, quit it, fill that shit, get it, make it, fuck it, feel it, touch it, ooh, oh. Titties in your mouth with your tongue on it, whoa, oh. Thanks. I think at this point we all understand the general mechanics of what goes on when two people get into the bag. However, I don't understand why you just said that to me. For me, I was kind of trying to watch the video, I was trying to get into it, and I was kind of like, okay. Kehlani did a better job to me. Like really, like, you know what I mean? You can talk about sex, but there's a lyrical art to rap when you're doing it. Tiana was just kind of like, oh, this is what's happening. Yeah, 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 yeah. Do it, oh, 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 oh. It's like, okay. But the song is still great. I'm not saying anything. The song is absolutely great. Only thing I can say is the video was a little bit crunchy. And I don't know why the video was crunchy, because I wanted the video to be real sexy. I was trying to feel like some actual steam, but I kind of felt like Tiana married and Kehlani is with a straight man who's never gonna really value her. But I wanted some authenticity in the steam. I kind of felt like there was authenticity in the steam, but I felt like they both held back. I feel like there's some amount of people, if they really into each other, I don't feel like they could get into like their fake lesbian like Scissor Me Timbers bag. I kind of feel like they would have had to just really just go there, and I feel like both of them was kind of like, we in situations, we ain't trying to do that, and we're not trying to give up all of that realness about ourselves for this camera and this video. So the video didn't go as far as I wanted it. But in broad strokes, the song and video are great. But in my mind, B-. Another person who released is Miguel. And there's this thing about Miguel music where it's like, I love Miguel. I love Miguel. And I think I will always have an ear for Miguel because of Kaleidoscope Dream. Like, it is what it is. If you are capable of making an Adorn, I'm always gonna check. If you're the person who made the Adorn, I'm gonna always come back for some Adorns. But Miguel does this thing where like he knows that people want Do You Like Drugs? And he knows that people want Adorn. And he's like, well, now that I have your ear, I'm gonna get this shit off. And it makes people mad because people really don't want to hear like the mechanical, Prince-esque, kind of like synthy kind of stuff. They're like, what the fuck? Like, Miguel, you could just sing. I could do Pussy Is Mine, Miguel and a guitar. I could take Miguel and Summer Walker with an acoustic guitar for an entire album each time. But my thing is, once you detach from what you want from Miguel, Funeral is fucking good. Like, the song is good. The song moved me. Like, if I was at a dance party and it was playing loud and I'd be like, hey, you know what I mean? Get your little bag. Like, it's cute. It's a good song. But I think the problem with Miguel is that you spend 3 minutes of that song disconnecting yourself from what you want from Miguel, from that Adorn feeling, from that come through and chill feeling. You know what I mean? You're stuck just disconnecting from that all I want is you feeling. And I don't really know what to do with that because that's always gonna be a struggle, is people come to Miguel checking for Adorn. That's the Miguel story. You come to Miguel and that's what people want to get from the Miguel store, and he has other things to get off. But I like Funeral, I really do. So I guess that's all I had to say about that. It's just that, let Miguel be Miguel and enjoy it for what it is and stop expecting Adorns. That was the point. Anyway, let's move it along to Put You On. As usual, if you have any songs you want to put me on, hit me up on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. Make sure you go and follow me on Instagram if you guys want to hear what I'm listening to. I'm always putting songs on my story so you guys can keep up with everything that I'm listening to. Also, I'm always on the Stairmaster, so if you are always on the Stairmaster, you guys see me checking in, tag me, let me know that you're checked in. We checking in together, man. We just trying to work on health and wellness and shit. Holiday season's approaching and we getting ready to get into some oxtails and some macaroni and cheeses and cheesecakes and sweet potato pies fries and motherfucking biscuits and rolls and everything else that we love. So we trying to stay right. So if you're in the gym, make sure you tag me, make sure you're checking in. We checking in together. Song I want to put you on today also comes from Wale's album. I know I put you onto a song from Wale's album last week, but this one's also good and people aren't talking about it and I really like it. And it's called 50 in the Safe featuring Pink Sweats. And the song is great. I honestly wish Nicki Minaj would have been on it. That's a song where I could really see her get into her like like that bag, that flow that she always does. So I really wish she'd remix that. But anyway, 50 in the Safe, Wale, Pink Sweats. Love that song. Wale has great music on his album. The music just didn't get to the right people, and it's not getting to the right people, but all I know is when the Wale show comes in town, I want to be there. Speaking of shows I was at in town, I went to the Kiana Ledé concert about a month ago, and I fucking love her. She's awesome. She's secure. She knows who the fuck she is. She knows what the fuck she's doing. She's just creating through it. She's an artist. She's a writer. She's really trying to live and experience and turn that experience into art, and I love that about her. She's a true artist, and her song called Easy Breezy is brand new and it's fucking awesome. Go listen to Easy Breezy by Kiana Ledé. Really give her a chance because she's on Universal Republic and they don't know what they're doing with new artists, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, y'all, that's it for this week's Think Tank. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you guys for supporting me. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If not, suck a dick. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuce.